Oh, honey, come sit a little closer. Let me tell you a story. It's not mine exactly, but it could have been. Could be yours one day if you're not careful. I once knew a woman, let's call her Eleanor. Lived a good long life, raised her babies, kept a home so warm you could feel it the moment you stepped inside. For over 30 years, she was married to a man who paid the bills and believed that was the whole of his duty. And Eleanor? Well, she carried everything else. The meals, the scraped knees, the birthdays remembered, the holidays stitched together with love and exhaustion. Now back then, folks didn't always question that sort of arrangement. You just did what needed doing. But time has a way of opening your eyes, even if it takes decades. So when Eleanor finally found herself on her own in her 60s, she made a quiet promise. Never again would she let someone hold all the power just because they held the wallet. A few years later, along came a gentleman. Polite, well-spoken, the kind who knew his wines and always stood up straight. And wouldn't you know it, early on he said something that sounded just right. Let's split everything, 50-50, fair and square. Now to Eleanor, that sounded like freedom singing. And for a while it did feel that way. Dinner bills split right down the middle, groceries, trips, all neatly divided. No one owing, no one depending, clean, modern, equal. But life, sweetheart, isn't made up of receipts. See, what Eleanor didn't notice at first, what so many don't notice, was that the things without price tags, they were still hers. Every meal, she cooked it. Every plan, she made it. Every gathering, every thoughtful gift, every little detail that makes a life feel cared for, that all came from her hands. He'd show up, smile, enjoy it all, and when the check came, he'd pay his half right on time, never late, not once. But he never once stood at that stove beside her, never once said, "You sit, I've got this." One Thanksgiving, she spent the whole day cooking, house full of people, laughter in every room, plates filled, cleared, washed, and at the end of it all, he wrapped an arm around her and said, "We make a great team." Now isn't that something? Because standing there, looking at a sink full of dishes and hands that ached clear to the bone, she wondered quietly what team he thought he was on. It wasn't until a friend, sharp woman, saw right through things, said to her, "You're still doing all the work, dear. The only difference is now you're paying for half of it, too." That settled in her chest like a stone. So Eleanor did something simple but powerful. She started writing it down. Every hour she spent cooking, cleaning, planning, remembering, all those invisible threads that hold life together. And when she added it up, oh, it wasn't small, not even close. Meanwhile, his side of the ledger stayed mighty clean, just numbers, just dollars. When she finally sat him down and showed him, do you know what he said? "I thought we were equal." And maybe in his mind they were, because he was only counting one kind of contribution. That's the tricky part, sweetheart. Some folks don't see what's never been asked of them. Now Eleanor, she didn't yell, didn't make a scene. She just saw things clearly for the first time in a long while. Because equality isn't about splitting the check. It's about sharing the weight of a life. And if one person is carrying the days, the meals, the plans, the care, the remembering, while the other just shows up when it's time to enjoy it, well, you tell me, darling, what exactly is being shared? Oh, now, before I go on, let me turn this around to you for a moment, sweetheart. Tell me something honestly. Have you ever been in something that looked fair on the outside, but felt heavy when you were the one living it? Maybe you split the bills, sure, but were you also the one Remembering birthdays, planning the trips, figuring out what's for dinner every single night, keeping track of everyone's feelings, not just your own. And let me ask you this, real gentle, no judgment here. When you were tired, truly tired, who noticed first, you or them? Have you ever sat there like Eleanor did and tried to answer that quiet question, what does he actually do? And found yourself searching a little too long? Or maybe, just maybe, you've known the opposite too. Maybe you've had someone who did step in, who did carry their share without being asked. If so, oh honey, you know how rare and steady that kind of love feels. I'm curious, what have you seen in your own life? Not what it looked like from the outside, but what it felt like when the day was done and you finally sat down. Go on, tell me. I'm listening. And so, sweetheart, Eleanor never really got a big dramatic ending. Life rarely gives us those neat little bows. She just woke up one morning and saw things differently. The same kitchen, the same table, the same rhythm of days, but now she understood something she hadn't been able to name before. That love, real love, isn't measured in who pays the bill. It's measured in who carries the invisible load when no one is watching. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. So Eleanor made her peace, not with bitterness, but with clarity. She stopped calling imbalance modern love. She stopped calling exhaustion fair, and she stopped mistaking silence for equality. She learned to ask one simple question every time. Is this truly shared, or am I just used to carrying it? And somewhere in that quiet understanding, her story kept going. Not finished, just finally honest. Now before you go, thank you for spending this moment with me, dear, truly. If this story made you think, feel, or remember something from your own life, then don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe if you want more stories like this, like it if it spoke to you, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because somewhere out there, someone is still carrying more than their share, and they might just need a little reminder that they're not alone. Take care now, sweetheart.